Go.
Alrighty, hello everybody. So as you may know, in the year 2000, a lot of people in this country were devastated at the fact that Al Gore lost the presidential election to George W. Bush. A lot of people were shocked by this because he seemed to have such a strong popular vote. But ultimately, the electoral vote is what made him lose the vote. A lot of people were frustrated and felt that their vote was not counted. Well, unfortunately, that just isn't so. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit more about voting because I feel that it's very important for people to not only register to vote, but to become active, to try to do their own homeworks and contribute into deciding who is going to be our local leader, Senate leader, our president. All of that stuff is important. And a lot of people don't really know how the system works. Well, hopefully I'm going to let you in on a little insight. There's something called unit rule. This was something that shocked me with my surveys. No one except myself and one other person knows what unit rule is. Unit rule essentially is winner takes all. Winner takes all, the numbers per state that's allowed, and that's decided by the Electoral College. Basically, the Electoral College says the population of the state will determine how many votes you get. California, for example, as of now, has 55 seats. That means that's 53 for the House of Representatives and 2 for the Senate. And how that works is that they'll pick, let's say, 55 hardcore Democrats, 55 hardcore Republicans, and they're the first to find out when people vote who got it. And then from there, they can decide that, number one, they can stick to the vote and say, you know what, yes, we're going to elect this person, or no. There has been no case where they decided to go against the vote. They have always stuck by what us as citizens have voted for. Another reason why that Al Gore lost is because of the Supreme Court ruling said, no, we don't want to recount anymore. It's taking too much time and energy. So that was another reason why he lost it. The ultimate problem here is that not enough people are voting. There's not enough. The highest ranking there was at one point of participating voters was, I believe, between 68 and 70% of the population. Seems like a lot, but it has gone down significantly since then. Year 2000, only 51% of voters voted. It has since gone up from 54 to 56 within the last 2 presidential elections, but still, that's only 56%. That's only a little bit above half of people participating. And the solution ultimately is going out there and vote. A lot of people are, don't feel that, they don't have to because plenty of other people vote. Why should I? I don't want to get called to jury duty, so I'm not going to register. Just a little secret, though, for registering to vote, that's not the only way you can get called to jury duty. If you have a state-issued identification card, anything that says you were born here in the United States, you can be called to jury duty. All registration to vote does is increase your chances. So why not vote? Why not? You get your opinion heard. And if you think about it, I hate to sound a little old-fashioned, the Founding Fathers made this whole system so that way we would be governed by the people, which contributes to the problem of if we're not governing, then how are we to decide how our government and who's going to run our country? How can we run that if no one's voting? And you also have that saying of if you don't vote, you can't really complain, because you can write a letter to your senator or local mayor, and it's like, well, did you vote for me? No. Did you vote at all? No. Then they're just going to crumple that paper and toss it because you didn't take the time to either vote for or against them. And if you think about it, you visualize in the future of things actually going our way. More and more people will be happy with the fact that, no, this person got elected, this is awesome, and things will actually start turning around here. Just imagine if things actually started going our way. But another thing to do that is we have to get more involved. A lot of people will either participate or not participate, and they'll just let it go. We have the power to be able to write a letter to anyone, especially our senators, anybody in charge. Be like, you know what, we don't like this. And I have this such and such people who agree with me. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I'm sorry, but if a little girl could influence Abraham Lincoln to grow a beard, I think anyone here can influence a shift from anything, from even the president to senator to mayor, anybody. So I advise everybody to take action. You know, do your own homework. You know, a lot of people are influenced by their family members on, you know, what party they choose to register for. You know, that also dictates who they vote for. That's fine. But it's also recommended that you do your own homework. Try to do your own thing. And if anybody has any questions,